Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng pera. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugo, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Ipag the Blue Eagle, galing hiting at tigil.
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B, here on Mind Ed.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mind Ed, your weekly slice na pabalik of mental health tips and tidbits. My name is Dee. I am just 11.
My name is Pat. Welcome to my home, I guess.
Welcome back to us, actually.
I know, also, yes. Tagal. When was the last episode?
Feb, ata.
Feb.
I think, was it Feb? I think it was
Oh, kasi
Feb.
wala tayong first week
Friday.
ng March, no?
We didn't, kasi I remember, kaya naalala sa Feb, kasi I was already preparing, kasi diba before the whole pandemic thing, I was supposed to go to Cebu
Right.
mid-Feb. So we were already preparing for that. So I know that we didn't have a program lined up for Feb. That's why. That's why. So yeah. So welcome to how many months? Feb, March, April, July, August.
6. Half a year.
6. Half a year tayong wala. Oh my
I
God.
know.
Half a year kitang hindi nakita. I mean,
Oo.
like this.
Well, oo. Well, hanggang ngayon naman, pa rin tayo nagkikita. Ito pa rin.
Well, ito na lang.
My
At
goodness.
least this is like,
At least na. Thank
this is
God
the
for
best that we can do
technology.
right now. I know. And I'm
Ay, naku.
really excited to be back.
Oo. Natakot-takot na kamustahan na yata, Toby.
Actually, oo nga. But before the kumustahan, batiin natin si Mir. Happy birthday, Mir. I don't know if
Happy
you're listening.
birthday, Mir! I hope you're listening. Dami nating viewers right now, actually. Parang pansin ko, we have more than usual. Para average yata natin before the pandemic. Was like, dapat siguro mga 8 o'clock na lang talaga tayo nagsistream. Kahit after.
Actually, oo nga. Para at least nakaano tayo dito. Also, I want to congratulate you! And
Why?
Hi!
Why?
Hi there.
What happened?
Hi.
Yeah,
Ikaw kaya
she's busy.
magbalita.
Okay, fine. Hi guys. For new viewers and for old viewers alike. Hi, I'm Pat. Uh, uh, I'm I'm a new father. Well, hindi pa naman. Well, I am, but hindi pa lumalabas ang aking anak. My wife is how many months pregnant now? Oh my gosh. 8? 32, 33 weeks pregnant. She's due to pop in like 6 weeks or so. We're super excited. We're gonna have a baby girl. Her name is going to be Cassandra Anika Sofia Gamo. Medyo mahaba-haba. So, aka Cassie na lang. Cassie
Okay,
Bear.
that's cute. Yay!
Super
Congratulations,
excited.
Patrick and Shai.
Thank you.
Really excited. And we're gonna pray. We're gonna pray for the safe delivery.
Yes, please.
For safe
Grabe.
everything. Yeah.
It's super
And then,
nerve-wracking in this season. Parang, usually kasi partners are allowed to be in the delivery room, but because of like COVID and minimizing exposure,
COVID.
bawal. So I have to wait in a room all by
Okay.
myself, not knowing what's
Okay. That's okay. You can pray. Okay, inhale.
pwede.
Exhale. You wanna practice that now? Inhale.
Mag-zoom kami habang nagde-deliver siya. Parang, Hans, remember your breathing.
Para sa'yo pala talaga yun.
Oo, actually. Oh, hi, Tess. Hi, Miss Jen.
I
Hi,
miss
Miss...
Jen.
Oo nga eh.
Oh, wow.
Oo.
Okay.
Ikaw, B, any news? Anything I should congratulate you on?
Nag-isip. Tapos dead air tayo. Bigla para ako,
Oo nga.
what's happening?
Meron ba?
Is this question legit? This is not in the script. But, no, I don't know. Nandito naman ako sa bahay.
Mhm.
I don't go out. Quick catch up na, diba? We were super busy when the pandemic hit. I mean, I guess busy is good because we're doing something. Pero,
Mhm.
because we like my other hat, the belief hat naman,
Mhm.
we work with like artists and our friends in the music industry. And so, ang tinamaan talaga would be those in the gigging community. Those
Right.
who are working in the live shows, those
Yeah.
who are yung mga sessionista natin na mga kaibigan. So them, and then those, of course, the artists couldn't go to a recording studio, so they cannot like release any songs, cancel lahat ng concerts, ng tours, like everything, ganyan. So, our team naman internally, sobrang bilis. I'm so happy and I'm so proud of my team kasi we really created a deck on a regional scale in Southeast Asia. Our team really parang had this parang amidst COVID-19 webinar type of like updates, trends that we can see what else we can do in this time of pandemic, ano pa yung pwede nilang gawin to boost maybe the streams and whatnot. So it's really just coping.
Mhm.
Basically to help them cope, the artists and the management din, ganyan.
Yeah.
So yun, so siguro sunod-sunod yung webinars namin noon, like maybe in a day nakakailan din kami na ganyan, to the point na naubusan ako ng boses. Because it was like how many slides din yun. Tapos noon, the first few sessions, talagang mag-isa lang ako, and then yung team naman namin dito in the Philippines, sinalo naman na ako dun sa mga succeeding. But still, there's a lot of talking, a lot of, what do you call this, like, ito, parang ganito, like online meetings, and sunod-sunod, like wall-to-wall meetings here and there, both local and regional and international. So, sunod-sunod siya. And I realized na, sabi ko, ganito rin naman karami yung meetings ko before. And then I realized na ang rest time ko pala is the traffic. The city traffic going from one like location to another. So that's my rest time. So hindi ako nagsasalita nun kasi nasa daan ako.
Right.
Sino kausap ko, right? So, ayun. So, para tayo ko, okay. So, ganun. Ngayon walang traffic. So it was like 3 to 4.
Sunod-sunod
4 to
talaga.
4:30 to 5. As in, ganun siya. It was crazy. Medyo ngayon nabawas-bawasan na ng konti. There are still like a lot of calls and everything. That's why I guess um I also didn't bother na mangulit na parang mag-show ba tayo? Hindi. Although I know that we kind of like we need it right now.
Yep.
Kasi
Yep.
yeah, talking to the people and yeah. So yun, puro ganun siya actually. And I was actually thankful for, kaya ako rin naalala yung Minded. Wow, I'm so sorry. Pero kinakutubat ko na. Kaya ako naalala ang Minded because there's this music industry meet-up group. May parang online conference na ginawa. And then one of the sessions was coping amidst like pandemic. And then we had Miss Ali, who's also usually invite din siya sa mga TV shows. She's also a psychologist. And si Marisa, our mistress, Marisa. Marisa also joined us, and then we sort of like, and then we were joined by Mr. Moy Ortiz. So yun yung pinag-usapan namin, like the coping and the anxiety, mental health, and everything. And then sabi ko, okay, this is like-minded. So oo nga, no? And I know you're super busy, kaya tatanungin na kita ngayon. Kanina pa ako dumadal dyan. So parang, how have you been?
Pwede naman ako tumahimik lang the whole time.
I just said that I'm losing my voice because I'm talking a lot.
Okay. Fair. Sige.
Okay, go.
I still remember that week pretty vividly. So that week was, I think, the week after my birthday. No Monday afternoon, the Monday of that week of the quarantine announcement, the first one. Nagka-executive committee meeting pa kami sa office. So out of office meetings pa kami, and we had a retreat pa. Kung saan ko na-announce sa kanila na buntis kami. So and then I just kind of like breezed through my week. And then, talks of the lockdown were starting to happen, and at that point they were still just rumors, and I was kind of not naman dismissive of it, pero I just had it at the back of my mind. But I think they closed campus down on the Wednesday, but they didn't close the offices, so I was still able to go to the office. And then the Thursday I was also still able to go to the office. But then that night of the Thursday, when they announced na parang we're gonna be, whole entirety of Metro Manila was going to be locked down, I immediately told all of my patients, all of my clients na okay, well, we don't want to endanger anybody, whether it's health-wise or like security-wise. So let's just start like doing things online. So I made that announcement na then, and then it kind of just flowed from there, and there were lots of people who kind of reached out pa din for talks, for seminars. I think on a monthly basis, I think I average around maybe 2 to 3 talks, webinars now. Especially in the beginning, I think I had like maybe 4 or 5, because everybody didn't know how to deal. And then also with in terms of clients and patients, things were changing at such a rapid pace, that people just kind of like really stood by it or stuck by it, and the content, I think, of the conversations stayed that way. Na parang it's really about coping with the situation. It was only, I think, after 2 to 3 months, or mga 2 months, that they started to kind of like, okay, things are winding down, we can kind of return to the old things we were talking about. And also, like, there were a lot of people who were saying na parang, well, life's more stable, I'm not exposed to a lot of stressors, so like let's kind of like pull back on schedules and stuff. So ako naman parang, sige, okay lang. And then later on, nagsibalikan din kasi, it wasn't just, it's not that easy. Parang just because things aren't happening doesn't mean that things aren't happening.
Yeah.
Personally naman din, on a personal level, things have been stable. Di lang kami nakakalabas ni Chai kasi for like doctor's appointments and stuff. I think we've only ever really had maybe in the past 6 months, maybe only about 3 doctor's appointments.
Okay.
And you're supposed to be seeing your OB, I think, like at least once a month. So, But it's been good. The stability of the household has been more or less like on the up and up because in no small part due to Chai, of course. Ilaw ng tahanan. And I really kind of like pulled in the whole cooking thing. So we haven't been like eating out or ordering in a lot. It's all just been home cooking. Kaya din hindi ako tumaba masyado. Sana naman. Parang hindi. Parang pumayat pa ako. Sana.
Sige na nga. Patrick, pumayat ka.
Ay!
Ay, kinilig siya. Gusto ko yun.
Ayun. Pero like, I think we were I don't know. I don't know about you, B, pero in the beginning, we were thinking about, whether or not this was gonna be, kasi nung March pa lang, inisip namin na, or we were praying for it. We were hoping that this thing would only last until end of June. Kasi we had plans We had plans nung Easter to fly to Japan. I think I talked about that a little bit before.
Yeah.
And then we also had plans in July to fly to Australia for conference and for just vacation time with my family. Pero wala, like as the weeks drew on, as the months drew on, parang it just kind of became more and more real. And plans kind of went out the window. And I don't know. Ikaw ba? Like, what were some of the things that kind of like got run over or sideswiped by the whole pandemic?
Well, first of all, yun nga, my work trip sa Cebu. Yan talaga yung unang tinamaan. Kasi I was already talking to sort of a landlady there kasi I was supposed to spend like a month or two siguro in Cebu.
Training
and
or you were training people there?
I was supposed to onboard, to help onboard one of my colleagues there, and at the same time, touch base and see how to expand the business there. And bahala na ako kung ano yung mangyari doon. And then dapat may mga side trip pa ako to Iloilo and stuff like that. As in, ready na talaga. As in, meron na akong quotation of the flights and how much I'd be spending when I'd be relocated there. But yun nga parang when it first hit the news, na yun nga, ito sa Cebu yung unang reported, di ba? Tapos parang, would I go there or not? So I prayed about it. Ano pa yun we were in the middle of the production of PCNT, I think. The last PCNT, the one that we had with Cardinal. And then, parang nag-usap kami nung kasama ko sa work, and sinabi nila parang baka try natin i-postpone, tingnan natin kung anong mangyari kasi this is an unknown element. Try lang natin, parang sige, try natin postpone. Kasi ano pa rin tuloy pa rin yung usap namin na negotiations and then nakaplano na. Actually, nakalatag na talaga yung program na gagawin ko on at least weekly or no, actually hindi, naka-daily planner na ako in my ledger. And then, yun na nga, and then nung dumami na sa Manila na parang, okay, no, hindi na lang, ganyan. And then, before the announcement of the ECQ, I was out with my friend, and then we were planning a trip then to to Bali. Kasi diba, I remember I asked some tips from you and from NJ din, and then from I have a friend in Jakarta. Tapos parang parang nagplano pa, ganyan, check the flights and ganyan. Tapos biglang, meron daw balita na tomorrow i-announce or baka this week i-announce na we're gonna be on ECQ or community quarantine, ganyan. So ako, research ako, ano yun? What's that? Parang, being me, what's that? How will it affect my life? And then, yun, in-announce na. So parang, well, obviously, it's not gonna happen anymore. And takot rin ako because I am immunocompromised. Right? My lungs are not exactly in perfect shape at all. Ako sinisakit din, diba? Miss ano, parang may ER na nga yung suffix ko, di ba? Sa pangalan ko. And ganun siya. So I was like super scared. Then when it was, yeah, so parang ay, teka lang. Sorry. Hi, Miss Jen. Nanonood daw si AJ. Hi, AJ.
Hi, AJ.
Hi, AJ. Okay, so segue. Hi. Ayun, and then, sinabi ko na parang, okay, syempre, yung plans ko, nag-shift from, like, work and other stuff, naging purely household.
Yep.
Like, paano tayo lalabas for supply run. Ganyan, especially yung quarantine, may mga quarantine pass na biglang in-issue na only one person is allowed to go out.
Yep.
Yan, so, sige, di ba sobrang nag-shift siya sa ganun, like, all of the adjustments happened. So, ako kasi, I was lucky, I guess, I'm very fortunate na my work has always been mobile. Like, work from home na siya talaga to begin with. And I just really go out because of the meetings. And whenever I want to go out, then talaga hawak ka na naging time ko. So it's just really a matter of finding a corner in our home, finding like a nook and make it like a makeshift office na rin talaga. Set up ako talaga ng desk. And like this one, where I'm at. Nasa nasa classroom.
Mm-hmm.
This is the preschool.
Designated. Okay, yeah.
This is the preschool. So we have a preschool sa backyard.
Right.
And so obviously, it's not operational now. So dito ako ngayon. Yan. As in, this sofa came naman from our sala. Dinala dito. Kasi si daddy naman nag-set up doon for his karate classes. So,
right.
So, parang lahat kami. Then my sister, dun sa taas naman, nag-ano siya ng offices for online school din naman. Yeah. So parang lahat nag-adjust. But at the same time, nandun din yung anxiety of like, do I have it or not? Or pagkalalabas, I'm so praning. Kasi spray everything in alcohol. Spray when I get it and then I don't like it and then I spray again. And then so, ako pakialam. Spray talaga lahat. Yeah. So parang, yun siya. And then yun na, then mga news and everything. But umabot sa point I had to tap out of the news and social media. It was too much. Kasi nung una, nagpapaka-geek pa ako and I want to be updated sa lahat. So lahat ng news naka-follow ako sa lahat ng like online, even yung mga on the online shows and the mga programa sa radyo. Yan. Nakatutok ako sa lahat. I want to know everything so I'll be prepared. And then napagod ako. And then ko, this is not good for my mental health.
Nope.
So I tapped out and then I just rely on the group chat with sila MJ kasi sila MJ mas masipag mag-update ng mga news. So okay, sige, story highlights lang ang kaya ko guys. Hindi ko kaya i-digest yung mga chat. If I need to know something na very specific talaga, I need to know and then I read about it na lang.
Yeah.
To digest everything and consume everything live all at the same time.
Yeah.
And
yun yung mahirap Parang slowly you realize that as you try to accumulate as much knowledge as you want or as you think you need, it slowly kind of dawns on you that it's not all good.
It's not.
At all.
It's not. And then you see stories pa, and then I feel for the people na wala ng work, and that's wait, sandali lang, di ata siya kaya ng puso ko ngayon. Spiritually, I am hanging. Kumbaga parang, yun na lang. I'm there. Parang, okay. Sobrang wala. Yung prayers ko, nagbago rin yung mukha niya, nagbago yung tono niya.
Yeah. Ay, nako. Kami, as a family nga, nagda-daily rosary na kami. And with each decade has like a specific intention na spontaneous. So parang, kasi like, ganun talaga parang, honestly, like after everything, after having focused or after focusing on the things that you can control, what can you really do about the things that you can't control, right? Either you ignore them or you pray about them. Is, I guess, the answer to my own question. Yeah. Diba? Yun talaga eh. Um, a lot of, I think a lot of the struggle that I think I might have like really dealt with, and a lot of the people that I work with have been dealing with, and I think for sure you and a lot of our listeners are also dealing or have dealt with, is the whole cabin fever thing.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang parang sige nga B, ano ba ibig sabihin ng cabin fever?
Bakit ako tatanungin mo? Ako yung expert dito. Sasabihin ko lang dito, like being stuck in a cabin and you feel sick about it. That's the best I can do.
Naman. Galing sa resources mo. Cabin fever is okay. Cabin fever is not like a technical psychological term, although it's like a collection maybe of certain symptoms. So it's a popular like slang, I guess, for the psychological reaction to being isolated or confined in a space, in a specific space, or in certain boundaries for an extended period of time. Like I said, it's not like a specific diagnosis, but it's yung sabi ng research mo, it's a constellation of symptoms. Wow, constellation that can occur under these circumstances. And cabin fever isn't a recognized psychological disorder, but that doesn't mean the feelings aren't real. The distress is very real, and it can make fulfilling the requirements of everyday life difficult. Sabi ni
so
very
it's
well
not a recognized it's not a recognized psychological disorder, but it is a psychological experience. It's fair. How do you? What's the proper term? I want to be proper.
It's a constellation of symptoms.
It is.
Stuck dun sa constellation of symptoms. No, but it's a psychological experience. Like I think grief is not a disorder, but it's a psychological experience. It's a constellation also, or collection na lang. It's a collection of symptoms, or I guess like emotional and cognitive reactions also. So, it's a mixture of things, Ano yung nakalista na symptoms na nilagay mo dito, B? Sige nga.
Decreased ang dami nito, bro.
Madami nga, go. Share.
Isa-isahin ba natin to? Okay, so the symptoms are decreased motivation, difficulty in waking up, food craving, frequent napping, feeling of hopelessness, lack of patience, trouble concentrating, restlessness, irritability, irregular sleep patterns, parang sipinas rin naman yun lethargy, distrust of people around you, persistent sadness or depression.
So actually, if you think about it, among the things that was the thing, a lot of the symptoms that were listed are symptoms that kind of differential diagnoses, technical term, or basta are symptoms that also kind of occur in other diagnoses also, like very much like, for example, depression, major depressive disorder. Some of the key symptoms of major depressive disorder are lack or decrease in motivation, sleep disturbance, feelings of hopelessness, irritability, difficulty concentrating, feeling of sadness for most of the day, for almost every day. So these things kind of like coexist, or at least are major symptoms of major depressive disorder. But again, the thing is kasi with major depressive disorder, how do I explain this? Sige nga, so cabin fever has a real, not that major depressive disorder doesn't have a real cause, but I guess it's more, this is like an out of the ordinary kind of situation. And the worst part of this, I guess, is you get kind of stuck in it. Because especially in the kind of like environment that we live in now, you're pretty much stuck here. You can't really do anything. I mean, among the things that the online research has suggested for us to do, things like getting out of the house can't do that.
which we
Diba?
can do.
Exercise, well, kaya naman, pero
And
it's hard to kind of get yourself motivated to do so. Um,
mm,
Depending also on what kind of environment you're in. Pero it's a these are extraordinary times, and these extraordinary times I think call for, well, not naman necessarily extraordinary measures. I think among the things, and then sige, before we get to like the whole solution, I guess I want to know about, um, is that something that you've kind of dealt with? Because I know for sure ako nararamdaman ko siya a lot. Even as like somebody who's supposed to like espouse or be like the picture of mental health. Pero hindi naman. Actually, that's
Well,
a myth, or that's a
so
misnomer.
be pressured.
Sige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for me, okay, how do you say this? I actually don't mind being stuck at home because I'm an introvert. And
Whatever lang.
I'm kumbaga parang din ako. But I think the say kunyari the maybe the restlessness or the persistent sadness or depression, it's coming from external factors like those that I ingest from the news, for instance. Kunyari, you know me, because I'm also an empath. So when I see or hear about these stories, talagang, I'm so bothered. I'm not irritable because I can't leave the house. I'm irritable because of what I hear in the news and what I see in the news.
Yeah.
It's more like that for me. It's more like that for me, actually. And the feeling of hopelessness, actually the feeling of helplessness that I really physically, literally can't do anything about it. I mean, I can do something in my own way, but I mean, who knows what the effect of this, diba?
Yeah.
Yun, so I guess it's more like that, but you know, I've heard a lot of like the cabin fever stories now with my peers. Yun siya, it's really more my peers. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. And sa totoo lang, parang a lot of people are kind of confronted with the things that they don't normally confront in this kind of environment. But I think a lot of the issues that were brought up in not even the sessions that I've been having, but also just the casual conversations, they realize that they don't really like their family, or at least there's lots of like unaddressed kind of feelings or tension between themselves and the people around them, and they just realize that it's. And so I guess what I'm trying to get at here is that this is a common experience. This is not something. The last thing I think we want everybody to feel is that they're alone in what they're going through. But also at the same time, I don't want people to feel like, yeah, let's all just kind of get together and just commiserate. Parang let's swallow in our sadness all together. I quickly realized, I think after maybe 4 weeks of doing this, or of being in this I guess I'm gonna say environment again, but I keep using that word, so iba naman. In this situation, in this state, is that despite the many things that are happening around us right now, there are a few key things that people can do to either protect themselves or maintain or sustain or develop a sense of still a sense of well-being despite feeling trapped. So I actually posted about this. Wait lang, nilalabas ko lang yung post. Medyo mabagal-bagal yung internet natin. So, mamaya na yan. So, many webinars or many like workshops, online workshops that I've given throughout this past 6 months, I think. There's a few key things that I've been like, or a few key principles that I've been really trying to reinforce or instill in people. And I think the first thing is, number one, it's about focusing on what it is that is within your control. A lot of where I think anxiety comes from, or at least the anxiety in this situation comes from, is from the desire to, is it the desire to, yeah, okay, it's a desire to like take control of the things that are happening around us, so to feel a sense of stability, to feel a sense of predictability. But because we can't have that, um, we start to spin a little. We have the tendency to like spin out, and so we lose track naman of the things that are actually within our control, the things that we can take, that we can manipulate, that we can take control of in this situation. Things like how you can't, like for example, you can't deal with, or you can't control how, you can't control who gets sick. I mean, outside of us, we can't
Yeah.
control how the government deals with this. We can't control how the economy turns out, and so on and so forth. But you can control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can definitely control what it is that you do to keep yourself safe. Things like sanitation, or like sanitizing yourself or sanitizing your surroundings, um, spending time or maximizing the resources that you have in the home, whether it's, you know, finding stuff for leisure, or at least, you know, making space so that you can do like small exercises or whatever. But so, I mean, if you think about it, if you take stock of all of the resources that you have, you find that there's lots of things that you can control, and at the least of all of these things is that you have control over yourself. Yeah. Second thing naman is, so apart from facing, apart from focusing on what's in your control, it's about acknowledging that these thoughts and the thoughts and the feelings that come up during this time are normal. Parang a lot of the time kasi people think that, I don't know if it's a societal thing or if it's a cultural thing, but when people start to get hit by a wave of like anxiety, or a wave of sadness, or a wave of anger or frustration, they think that, oh, you know, those are negative, quote unquote, negative emotions, and I shouldn't have negative emotions. But as we've learned, diba, throughout the long history of Mind Ed, that there are no negative emotions, and that emotions serve as information. Your emotions are telling you that you don't like what's happening, and that's important information, because at least you know what you like and what you don't like. And you know, you can treat your emotions as a message that tells you about, or you know, like a message on your phone, and then either kind of just acknowledge it, read, like mark it as read, and then just keep it in the inbox. But then other people say, kasi think na parang, or you know, when they receive the message, it's like, oh, ugly, diba? I mean, imagine like receiving a spam message on your phone, yung mga cash loan 5.1%, ganyan. Imagine na parang, if your reception of that was like, oh my god, I received this message, let's throw away my phone. Diba, may exage? So pwede mo siyang i-FYI lang. And then, you know, so what you can do is, you know, once you acknowledge your thoughts and your feelings, you just kind of connect with and come back into your body, because your body is what you can control, or one of the things at least that you can control. And then lastly, you can just kind of really focus yourself or engage in the present moment. You know, one of the key questions I think that I ask the people that I work with, or at least the people that I've given webinars to, is, you know, one important question, or one good question or principle that you can ask, or you can remind yourself of on a daily basis is, you know, what small thing, or what thing, no matter how small, can I do today that makes life better for at least myself, or my immediate surroundings, for the people around me, or for my community. And then whatever it is, kasi syempre, when you think about that question, you think about, okay, what can I do? Meaning, what's within my power to, you know, to take control of and do. And then whatever the answer is, you just do it. And so every day I just kind of wake up, and I don't I just allow the thoughts or the all of the wala, nakita ko lang may bago. Whatever. Okay. Whatever, I wake up every morning and whatever thoughts I have, or whatever foresight I have into, oh, I should be doing this right now, or I should have been doing this right now, I should have been in this country right now or in this city right now, but I can't. I kind of just, okay, let's just kind of set it aside. Okay, yes, that's true, but at the same time, I have priorities right now. I have stuff that I need to do.
Yeah.
What is it that I need to do right now? Okay, immediate thing is maybe prepare breakfast, or um, attend to a client, maybe, for example. And then at 12 o'clock, I'll think about, okay, what can I do right now? Oh, I need to prepare lunch for my wife who is with child. So let's do that. And then kind of like really focusing on, kasi, and I think what a lot of people have come to become comfortable with in this moment, in this environment or in this situation, is that this time is really about survival. And parang it's time, people, there are some people who are are humble enough to kind of set aside their pride and their shame, and just they do what they need to do to survive. And so if they've lost their jobs, then they turn to things like, or at least if a lot of their jobs have turned into things that they can't do anymore, they look for things that they can do. I have some family members, I have some friends who have turned to like selling or reselling certain things, whether it's food, or they've turned to like trades that they never knew they were good at, or at least they thought to bank on trades or skills that they never thought to maximize or utilize. So some of them are baking now, some of them are making food, and so on and so forth. Diba? So
Yeah.
that's like prime example of focusing on what's in your control and engaging in it fully, because the priority really is
Yep.
survival. Diba?
Alam mo, totoo yung sinabi mo na like about the baking and everything. I just remembered because one of the points that our studies showed is that the Gen Zs are known or have been known as the foodie generation since the pandemic hit. As in, all of the search keys and all of the search engines and all of the algorithm, basically, the algorithm points to like food and recipe and everything actually related to food are consumed, and yun nga, ginagalawan talaga siya nung mga Gen Zs. I guess that's
Yeah.
that's our circle, the network that we are in.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So yun. And I think, so okay, nabuksan ko na pala yung post ko. So ang sabi ko doon, when thinking about, so the post says, the caption of the post is sanity in the time of quarantine. Kasi ano siya, parang a play on love in the time of color. Wala lang. Witty ako eh. At saka well-read ako. Bakit ba? So, 5 mental health tips during the COVID-19 crisis. So, number 1, it's to get as much sunlight and fresh air as possible. So, sabi ko doon, staying indoors is key to minimizing transmission, but you still need to get sunlight for vitamin D and serotonin. So, and fresh air also to keep you from feeling cramped up at home. So, whatever it is that you need to do, whether it's to maybe crack open a window or spend time on a balcony if you have one at home, or at least just, I don't know, stepping out for a bit. But also making sure that you are, physically distancing from people. Yeah. Get as much sunlight as you can. It's healthy. And then number 2, try to stay active and eat healthy. It's easy to get lazy and gain weight when working or studying from home, but exercise is still important, even if just for a few minutes a day, for endorphins, the positive feeling hormone. Sorry, sinorten ko talaga yung mga captions eh. Baba.
No, I agree with the exercise. I agree with that one.
Have you been keeping an exercise routine?
Oh, I still do yoga. Mas madalas ngayon. Because I have more time. So before I used to do like yoga, I try it every day before. Now I do it twice a day. When I wake up and before I sleep. So when I wake up, it's my usual flow. And then before I sleep, yun na yung mga challenge na parang the difficult poses that I can do when I just woke up. naka-stretch na yung katawan ko. Yeah, so yeah,
That's the
I have
best.
more
Yeah.
time for yoga.
Yeah. And you have like
Happy.
you have good space for it, so definitely na-maximize mo yan.
I do.
Number 3, I'm
I
not sure
do,
if you're
I do.
able to do this, but number 3 is keep a sacred space. So home is often a safe haven for people, a respite from the stresses of the office or school. So taking work home can blur the boundaries, and so make sure to keep a sacred space in your home that is devoid of work or stress. So ako kasi dito sa bahay, well, bahay really is just like a 60 square meter like space that is a one bedroom. So I leave all of my work stuff really in this like specific, ano ba to? This is like maybe like a 1 square meter area where I do all of my work. And everywhere else is like relaxed time. I would not take a client on my kitchen counter or on the sofa. It's all here. All of my presentations, if any, I would work on, it's all here. And everything else is kind of like sacred space, no work. And so that's how I kind of like create those physical boundaries. Kasi yun nga, parang when you blur those lines, ang nangyayari is wala na. I have no safe space. I have no safe haven anymore. So try to confine all of the work that you can do into one specific space. And you have your area. This in your preschool area. That's
my,
your work.
my makeshift.
Yeah.
Yes. So I go to the main house for my my sacred space. Actually, specifically the piano.
Yeah.
I go
Sarap.
to the piano. I just
Okay.
be there.
Ako,
It's
na-miss ko na mag-drums in church. My God.
Oh my gosh, I can just imagine. I was about to say, kapag drums ka pa ba dyan?
Hindi. Palong-palo na ako, by the way. Sorry, guys. Anyway,
Pag tayo
number
lalapit
4.
kay Patrick, baka tayo hampasin niya.
Hindi, wag. Di yan. Number 4, segment your day. Ay, nako. I think this is going to be
It's a long discussion.
shot to the heart. Shot to the heart
Okay.
kay B. Pero working
What?
in an office sets boundaries for time spent on tasks. But I don't know. Kasi it's indeed, since mobile yung work na wala siyang segmentation. Pero the temptation to wake up and dive straight into work sets you up to get burnt out at the end of the day. So don't spend the whole day on just your work tasks. Try to round it out and mix it up every now and then. So I mean, okay, fair enough. Nakakapag-exercise ka in the morning and nakakapag-exercise ka at night.
It's yoga, first thing I do.
Yeah.
After, of course, washing.
Yeah. Hindi, kasi ang hirap di ba? I mean, if you think about it, if you just kind of wake up to work and then you take a break from work just to eat and then you kind of stop working when it's time to eat again and then all of a sudden you're done for the day and you just go back to sleep. That's not much of a life. That's like one aspect of your life lived and everything else kind of was put to the wayside. So exercise, just as B does, mag-yoga kayo, paturo kayo kay B kung gusto mo.
I offer classes. No, I don't. I don't.
Promote.
But what I recommend siguro is that I dedicate off-screen time. Like pag sinabi kong end of day, I'm gonna be off-screen. I just I tell like yung mga closest colleagues ka at work, okay guys, I'm gonna be off-screen. If you need me, I will be back maybe 10 p.m. before I sleep. If there's anything urgent, and then matulog na ako. Things like that. Or I do my the leisure pa rin naman. Off-screen pero nag-Netflix.
Okay.
But at
Okay
least
lang
it's
yan.
not work. I mean, laptop
It's
off.
leisure.
Laptop
Yeah.
off, and I do the leisure thing, and then I engage with the virtual social life already. But off screen, so like when I take my work just here.
Yeah.
Minsan I bring my laptop dun sa sala if I need to really work on something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't want to be in the school anymore.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, off screen.
Yeah. And then lastly, at 5 out of all the 5 things is to stay connected still. So social connection is important whether you're in crisis mode or otherwise, and it's difficult to stay connected in a time of social distancing. But take the time to build your connections with the people at home or video call or chat with your family and friends and keep in touch. Kasi ano naman siya, physical distancing naman siya. Hindi naman siya emotional distancing.
Hindi
Diba?
naman. Oo, that's
Yeah.
so true. Yun lang eh. Parang, I just want to share, we had a shoot with, ano nga ba yun? Just yung tinanong ko eh, kasi magkasama kami nun eh. For the Cheshire President.
Mhm.
And then Father Jason B was wearing a shirt and then merong yakap na nandun sa nakastal out sa shirt niya. Tapos sinabi niya na parang this is the greatest temptation that we have right now because we can't,
Right.
we can't really, like, hi, hello, I miss you. And then, hindi nga ako makapagmana sa mga pare eh. So, okay, sige, it's just so near yet so far. Ganun siya. But yeah, it's actually good that we still have, like, these, thank God for technology na for those who are fortunate to have those. I mean, tayo kasi we're lucky, we're fortunate enough to have access to technology. Ba, ganyan. Pero Patrick, what about those who do not have access to technology?
Yun lang. I don't know, it's kind of hard to speak into that kasi it's a reality, and like it or not, it's a reality that not a lot of us really are, at least the people who are listening in today are exposed to. I mean, you're listening in because of technology, and I don't know, well, I guess not as a consolation, but I'm pretty sure that there are still a lot of things that they have within their control. I think I heard the story where there were some jeepney drivers who have turned to making yema and are now, I think, so this is like the best, I think the biggest story of hope I think that I've heard is that now they make much more from selling yema than they ever did driving jeeps. I think the story yet or the numbers are like the jeepney driver now makes like 10,000 pesos a week from selling yema. So parang yun talaga eh. It's really like it's about, and it's hard to say. Okay, it's hard to say this, but I know that people, we as a species, we're resourceful. Whatever tools we have at our disposal, we will really maximize, especially when it comes to disposal. Like we don't have, I don't think any generation of ours are born weak or as snowflakes, because I think as the generations grow older, we become more and more resourceful, but it's very dependent on the resources or the tools that we have at our disposal regardless. So yeah, I mean, if we don't have technology, we still have tools, we can still make do. So kaya kapit lang, I guess, is possibly the key. Yun lang.
Yeah.
Okay, nagsasalita ako masyado. Paano ba?
No, it's fine. We are learning a lot. Actually, kaya ako rin naman, that's why I wanted for us to talk about these things, because I actually wanted to talk about like the cabin fever, the mid, mga nasa third month into quarantine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're so preoccupied back then. So really sorry about that. But now we're here, and so we wanted to, kasi I have my own techniques, and I also wanted to learn from you. Like what else can we, can we share to our listeners? And I mean, maybe those who are in the comment section can also like share.
Give us
what
your
they've
best
been doing
practices
to
also.
cope. Because we learn from each other. Maybe even after this episode, it's gonna be saved anyway. Right? So we wanna hear about what do you do to cope. Ba yung term ko? To cope from cabin fever. And Although may mga ibang sinasabi dito sa website. Set daily and weekly goals.
Yeah.
Maintain normal eating patterns. Express your creative side. Okay, express your creative side. Patrick, how do you express your creative side? Aside from cooking. Oh my God. Wala siya drums na yun.
Medyo lang. Cooking. Yeah, definitely. I
Okay.
think so. I did this personal project, I think, in the first 2 months of the quarantine where I'm not a social media person, but I really just kind of like, I'm so bored. So I cooked every single day a new dish, I think,
Okay.
in an effort to just like keep things, I guess, fun or creative or light, despite all of the like things that were happening around us. So, yun. I learned how to bake bread. Seriously.
Oh my God. Really?
It's so fun.
Okay.
It's a lot of work though, but it's fun. Yeah. Ikaw, how have you expressed your creativity throughout this season?
Well, I still have my piano, the guitar, all of those, ganyan. But I got inspired by my mom. Kasi my mom, sometimes I work here, and then there's another corner kasi sa school, nandun lahat ng art materials ng mom ko. Hi mom, I know you're watching. And then I got inspired kasi sobrang, okay, wala ako talagang talent sa like the hands-on art. Like, it's fine, I can do digital art, no problem. Yan. Pero hindi ko namana yung talent ng parents ko for visual arts talaga. It's the hands-on. Yeah. And si mom nag-watercolor. So parang sabi ko, mommy, I wanna try. So that's my off-stream time. Don't like ask me about like how my paintings are. They're a mess. But
off-air na lang, mamaya.
Sige, watercolor is such a hard thing to do because it's so hard to control water. Like, ganun siya talaga kada. I mean, it's very different from when you're drawing. Kasi yung drawing kasi like you can control ganyan, but you need to be mindful of where the water is gonna flow when you like dip it like that. Or anyway, okay na lang yan. But yeah, I tried to do some of those. Pero if not, let's say I just want to rest. It's not really a creative side, but it's more of my rest time. I listen to audiobooks. Yeah. Kasi it's sort of like an off screen.
Yeah.
But I like to read. Usually ebook ako eh. That's screen pa rin yun eh. So medyo ano pa rin siya sa mata. So I just listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sila siya. And what else? Yeah, I cook during the week. And yeah, kasi I can't do that during the weekday. Try ko ata, hindi talaga kaya. Hindi talaga kaya as in, as much as I want to. So I try to like cooking during the week. And if kung wala akong latak na work from my day-to-day, di may iwasan sometimes. So yeah, creative side. What else? Tried writing songs, things like that.
Okay.
And to express yung mas ano lang ako ngayon. More time off the laptop.
Okay.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, so you heard it from B, guys. It's nice to be able to just kind of like express yourself and take time off of the screen to those for, and just take the time to like really immerse yourself in something that you can really engage in, especially if it's like engaging with your senses, whether it's your eyes or your smell or with your hands. Yeah, good practice. Thanks, B. Kayo, so like definitely I know that we're live right now, but again, like B has mentioned, this is going to be saved and it's going to be posted. So if you are watching this not at 8:59 p.m. on the 13th of August, still feel free to just post or comment your best practices on how you guys kind of wind down and address also the cabin fever. We just like to take the time before we end to just greet all of our viewers on Facebook Live and on YouTube. hi to Miss Leleth, Miss Jen, Tita Tess. Hi, Les. Roger, yes, we will have a replay, or well, this will be offline naman. Not offline, but it will also be like
It's gonna be safe.
yeah, safe. Yeah. It's okay. You're not that late. That's fine. Hi, Sir
Yeah.
Noel. Hi, Adi. Hi, RJ. And yes, greet all the caregivers here and abroad. Keep safe
Oh,
always, and may
wow.
the Lord
Hello.
bless you every day. Yeah,
Mm.
RJ. From
Yes,
Asian
hello.
Caregiving and Technology Education Center. Hi, Cherry. Yeah. Yun. And again, to all of those people who will be listening after this has been posted also. Any
Mhm.
last words, B?
Last word, ang dami ko pa gusto sabihin. No, I'm kidding. Di pa ka-informed. 5 hours tong show natin.
Naku.
may page 2, 3, and 4 pa yung script. So, malaki
Right.
ka.
Nakita ko nga,
I'm
may page 17. Joke lang. Wala.
Kontrata na pala. No, for me, maybe final message at least for this time. Ano ba? With regards to cabin fever, like what Patrick said, this is the thoughts and the feelings that you have at this time are normal. We're not saying that it's good, not saying that it's bad. We're just saying that it's normal. You are not alone in this. We are all experiencing our own versions of cabin fever, or whatever it is that you may want to call it.
Mhm.
But I think what I want to tell our listeners, our viewers now is that don't lose hope. So you have your definition of your cabin fever, and I hope you also have your own definition of hope, and you are able to express that hope and continue to be kind to what you are seeing, what you're hearing, and of course be kind to yourself. Be patient.
Yep. Amen.
Patrick?
Yeah. Copy paste what she said.
No.
Ayun nga.
Okay.
Really just kind of, there's no shame in whatever it is that you need to do to survive, as long as you're not hurting yourself or you're not hurting anybody else. And I guess, and this is something I think I remind all of my clients of every single time, is that, no matter what happens, no matter how much things change around you, the only thing that maybe shouldn't change is you being kind to yourself. So,
Amen.
Amen. Yun lang. Grabe. 6 months. Naipan
6
natin yun
months.
over 6 months. 6 months na lang
Oo.
ulit. See you in 6 months, guys.
Papalitan na natin yung tagline natin na your seasonal slice of mental health.
Exactly.
Oh my God, let's not do that.
Yeah. No, we're
Be
just
kind
kidding,
to
guys. We'll be
ourselves
here
our
next
day.
week. Okay? We will be back next week. Yun lang. Okay?
Yay!
Sige.
Thank you,
Let's,
everyone.
This has been Minded, your weekly slice, weekly, emphasize lang, of mental health tips and tidbits. My name is Pat.
And my name is B, and we'll see you next week. Good
Yes,
night,
we will.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Spirit fingers.
Oh,
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B, here on Mind Ed.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag Huwag ang pusong